Hello and welcome. My name is Ariel. This is a gentle, calming flow to start your day. We'll be about 20 minutes in this class. You may want a handful of props, perhaps a bolster, a pillow, blanket, something soft and something to bring the floor closer to you in some of the poses we'll do. We'll start with a little focus on the breath, a little meditation. We'll move through a handful of poses. We finish with another, I call it a mini meditation at the end, and then we'll wrap it up so you can get on your way. Go ahead and get comfortable first in any sort of seated position. You can lean your back on something if that's more comfortable. You can sit cross-legged. I'm sitting on a folded up blanket to make this a little more comfortable for my hips. You can sit on a pillow. You can lay down if you'd like. Your lower half does not have to look like mine. Legs can be straight, out to the side, anywhere you'd like. Get comfortable wherever you are. Resting the hands somewhere on the body, perhaps the knees, the thighs, or taking prayer at the heart. Maybe you'd like to close your eyes. Taking these first few moments to settle, to arrive here on your mat. Hopefully you slept well, maybe not. We'll get the body warmed up, woken up a little bit. Go ahead and shift your focus to your breath. Simply noticing, where in your body do you feel the breath? Is it easy or labored? Long or short? Of course, you're welcome to yawn as many times as you'd like during this class, especially if you've just woken up. And if you'd like, doing a quick scan of the body from top to bottom, just to check in, not to change, not to judge or adjust even, just to get an idea of what your starting point is today. And gently, when you're ready, you can flutter the eyes open. We'll move through first some neck stretches, and a little note, every single pose that I'll offer is simply a suggestion. If they do not work for your body, of course, you have permission to skip, and please be mindful of how you're feeling. Check in with yourself. Your range of motion does not have to match mine. It should be whatever is most comfortable in your body. So however you are, I like to give a little wiggle to readjust my posture. Take an inhale, think nice and tall through the spine, and as you exhale, tipping the head off to one side. Beautiful. Inhale the head back to center. Exhale, head tips to the opposite side. Inhaling through center, and go ahead and move at your own pace now. We'll do this a few times. Be conservative in your range of motion to start. Allow lots of time for the muscles to get ready, for the muscles to wake up, to get warmed up. Good, let's finish the second side. And then we'll change this so we're looking over our shoulders. So looking over one shoulder, maybe you're continuing to link breath and movement. So you inhale as you come to center, exhale as you turn off to the side, though of course that is totally optional. Moving nice and slow. I like to encourage immense laziness in your movements. Beautiful. Finish your second side. Same idea, but we'll tip the head back and take the chin to the chest. One thing to note, as you tip the head back, think up and back rather than just straight back. You want to leave lots of length in the back of the neck as you tip back. Beautiful finish, chin to chest here. Lovely. We'll start to bring this movement a bit bigger and bigger as we warm up. So inhale, take the arms up overhead. Good. We'll take one hand down to the floor, reach up and over with your opposite hand, going only as far as feels comfortable. Inhaling through center, exhale to the other side. And we'll do this a few times, so go ahead and move at your own pace, with the option to notice how this pose, this stretch changes each time you do it. So maybe each time you do it, you're in exactly the same spot. Maybe you have a little more range of motion each time you do it. Maybe you'd like to play with opening the chest a little more upwards towards the ceiling. Maybe that will feel good. Lots of opportunity to experiment, to play around even in very small, very subtle ways. Lovely. We'll finish this one and then we'll turn it into a twist. So go ahead, inhale those arms up, twisting to the side, and we'll stay here. So wherever you stop moving with your upper body, go ahead and just let your hands relax. I like to take my hand across to my opposite thigh if that's accessible to you. You can stay more open to the front if that feels better. My hand behind me has no weight in it. It's just hanging out back there. And optional here, with every inhale, you can think taller towards the ceiling, sitting up nice and tall. And with every exhale, perhaps you twist a little bit deeper. Avoid using your hand to pull you into the twist. Good. We'll do one more cycle of breath here. When you're ready, inhaling, taking the arms up. We'll do the same thing on the other side. So twisting. Whenever you stop moving, go ahead and relax your hands. Maybe hand is on the opposite thigh, maybe not. Maybe looking all the way over your back shoulder or not. If that's a little intense on your neck, but you feel good through your spine, you can simply turn your head only a little more forward, but leave the shoulders where they are. On your next inhale, take the arms up, come back to center. Lovely. We're going to come over into a tabletop. Option to put a little padding, like a blanket, underneath your knees if you'd like that. And if your wrists are a little iffy here, you can come up onto fists instead, but we'll go through cat and cow. So inhale, tailbone goes towards the ceiling, belly drops, chest and head come through. Exhale, tuck the tailbone, arch the spine, release the head. Go ahead and move through this a few more times at your own pace. Linking breath and movement is lovely, but optional. Maybe it does not feel nice for you. That's totally fine. You can skip it if it doesn't feel good. When you're ready, work yourself back to a neutral spine. We're gonna come up into a down dog briefly. So I like to scoop my hands a little forward to start, tuck the toes, and then lift the hips. Maybe you start with a nice big bend in the knees before you start to work yourself to straighter legs. Maybe you'd like to pedal it out. You can sway the hips around. Take some free movement here if you'd like. Maybe you want to settle right into stillness. Maybe a little wiggling around feels nicer to you. Beautiful. Come on, back down. We're gonna come into a lunge here. So if you have not patted your knee before, you may want to now. I will cue that you keep knees on the ground, but if you want more activation, of course, you're more than welcome to lift a knee up. So I'm going to take my left foot forward for very wiggly. I'm going to take my left foot forward first, nice and firmly planted through my heel. I'm going to lean forward just as far as feels good.
be mindful of that back knee. If you're feeling a little iffy in the back knee, you can come down to support your weight, tuck your toes, pick up your knee, and then just set it right back down. Sometimes that takes out all of the weirdness in it. Back toes can be tucked or untucked. So depending on how you feel, you can stay here. You can have hands on thigh. You can have a block here for a little extra support, if you'd like that. Or arms up overhead as you are a little more upright in your lunge. And then cactus the arms as you lean in. So if you want to take a little movement with me, you're welcome to here, but static in this pose is just as lovely. Personally, I hate lunges, but I know that they're good for me. So here we are, all together. Hopefully you like this more than I do. Last one here. Maybe you like to take it down, take a breath here. Before coming on back, we'll switch legs. Goodness, I'm exceptionally wiggly today. Getting nice and set in that front leg. As I have all of my weight on my back leg here, my front leg is a little more than 90 degrees. That's what works for my body, the length of my legs, all that good stuff. Maybe try this if you feel a little directionless here. Try the shape that my body takes to start, but then know that you should be making adjustments to whatever feels good for you. So go ahead, adjust that back knee if it needs a little pick up and sit down. Maybe you're here with some support on a block. Maybe you're a little taller with your hands on your thigh. And maybe you'd like to do some movement with me. So if you want to move, sit a little more upright, more weight in the back leg, arms up. As you lean your weight into your front heel, cactus the arms, lean forward in the lunge, beautiful. Working back and forth at your own pace, hopefully not falling. You can try to create a little more space left and right between, widen your stance. Maybe that'll take some of the wiggles out for you. Good. One more breath here. Maybe you'd like to really lean into that stretch for a moment. Lovely. Come on out. Clear your space. We're gonna come over to seated. We're gonna take a wide leg seat. And again, I'll give you some options here for movement or not. So if you'd like to stay here, stay here. Depending on your flexibility, you may wanna lean back a little bit. Maybe you'd like to sit upright. Maybe you'd like to lean forward with the option of making this much more passive and have something to rest on. Otherwise, if you'd like to move with me, similar idea, arms up. Come forward, find your stopping point, hover here for a moment. Lovely, and then you can stay there. If you want lots of work, you can leave the arms up. Your, let's say, one slightly less intense option than that is to have hands on the ground. As you exhale, leaning in. Good, inhale, come up. Hands can move here if you'd like. We'll do a few here, get things warmed up. Good, we'll do one more. Or if you're in a static pose, take one more cycle of breath. Lovely, take the soles of the feet together, butterfly the knees. If this feels a little already, you can take some blocks underneath the knees for a little support here. Same idea. If you would like to stay static, start with the hands back. This should have the least intense sensation. This should have a little bit more, maybe a little bit more as you lean yourself forward. So start, I don't want to call it easy. That's not the implication, but a little more. I'll have to redo that. So taking the soles of the feet together, if you're already feeling a lot of sensation here, you have the option to take blocks or pillows underneath both knees. similar to the wide leg forward fold, you can do some movement with me, or you can stay static. If you're unsure of how to find your sweet spot in this pose, start leaning back. This has the least pull on the muscles, so depending on your flexibility, maybe this is where you're good. Maybe you'd like to sit upright, or starting to work the chest closer to the floor. That will have the most stretch on the muscles. So find where your sweet spot is. Again, option to have arms up as you move in and out of these poses, or out of this pose rather. If this is a little too much, you can try hands on hips, or like we did before, hands anywhere on the lower body. So leaning in, coming back out. Sometimes in the morning, personally, I prefer static. I'm very much like a restorative, very relaxed, the less movement the better type of yoga class is my kind of class. But in the morning, when I'm trying to wake up, that will make me go back to sleep. So the way that I combat that is with a little movement in and out. Nothing too crazy, nothing that'll make me sweat or become tired. Just a little movement here. Beautiful. Let's do one more. And if you're static, take one more cycle of breath. Lovely. Let's finish on our backs. Take a moment. Let your bones settle. Sometimes you really need to, you probably can't hear it. My whole back sounded like popcorn when I laid down. Option to pull the knees into the chest here. You can give yourself a little wiggle side to side. Take your left foot either flat on the floor or stretched long, whichever is more comfortable to you. We'll hold on to the right leg. If that's not comfortable or accessible to you, you can grab a strap, towel, t-shirt, anything like that. Put that around the shin and hold on to that instead. And depending on your body composition, your flexibility, all of those things, you can either pull the knee towards the center of the chest. That may create some pressure on your stomach, which is, so long as it's comfortable enough for you, that's totally safe, totally fine. You may want to pull your knee more towards your elbow, with the option of physically grabbing and moving your tummy out of place. See if maybe that is more comfortable for you. Both are correct. Lovely. Let's take that right foot up towards the ceiling. You can point or flex the toes. You can take some time to roll out the ankle if you'd like. So you're holding anywhere on the back of the leg. Avoid it directly behind the knee. You can hold onto your clothes, or again, you can grab that strap, towel, or t-shirt. If you're a hypermobile individual, please be mindful that your knee is not locked here, not hyperextended. Good. If you're feeling a little crazy, you can start to let this come out to the side. Be careful that you don't topple yourself over. Lovely. Nice and slow. Bring that foot back up towards the ceiling. Release that leg. We'll switch sides. So pulling the knee in, maybe you'd like to pull it in towards the center of your chest, have a little pressure on your stomach. It can promote blood flow. It can help digestion. It is not incorrect, excuse me, it's not incorrect to have pressure on the organs. If you just don't like it, or if you don't want it, scoot that leg off to the side. Option to physically move the tummy, physically move the fat of the thigh. Squish it out of the way a little bit. Create a little space for yourself. Wonderful. Take the foot up towards the ceiling, grabbing somewhere on the back of the leg, pants, wherever. Grab a strap. You can roll out your ankle if you'd like. Good. If you'd like to, taking it off to the side. I find it much more difficult to do the off to the side without a strap. Wonderful. Back to center. Go ahead, relax that leg. Take a nice big stretch here. Arms up overhead. Feet nice and long. Ooh, big, big stretch. Take up a ton of space. When you're ready, work yourself up to seated. You can roll off onto your side and come up through a fetal position. My arms are too short for me to do that, so I fling myself. But be careful. Be careful if you're a flinger like me. We'll finish seated with a mini meditation here. Again, only because this is probably a morning class for you, and laying down in the morning is a dangerous game. If it's not dangerous for you, of course, you're welcome to lay down here. Again, hands maybe somewhere on the legs. Maybe you'd like to take prayer. Closing the eyes if you'd like. Take a nice big cycle of breath with me. Inhale. Sigh it out. One more like that. Taking a moment to check back in with your body. How is it feeling? Maybe taking a moment to set an intention for your day. Taking the hands to the heart. Taking a moment to thank yourself for practicing today. I thank you for practicing with me today. When you're ready, gently fluttering the eyes open. Thank you so much for sharing your practice with me. I hope you feel nice and wide and awake, and I hope you have a wonderful day. I'll see you soon. Take care.